How's it going, guys? I'm Danny, and we are here with round coverage from the final round of the Central Arkansas match play bracket, the first bracket we've done. I'm here with James Lisi. Say what's up, James.
Hello.
And yeah, it was a cold morning out here, but we have Abe Bahena and Matt Scott on the card.
Two great players in our area of Arkansas, right here in Central. Abe based out of Hot Springs, and we've got Matt Scott based out of North Little Rock, Arkansas.
It's kind of a dichotomy too. We have Abe that's known for his backhand. He throws putters country mile, and Matt is not. He throws a lot more forehands than Abe does, for sure.
I would call Matt the king of consistency and calmness on the course at all times.
Local Nate Sexton.
Local.
Right, let's get into this. Here we go. We're starting on hole one. What's the shot here?
Well, first let's look at our huge gallery right there.
Oh yeah.
if you've never seen me before, that's me with the hog hat woo pig.
Woo pig, all right.
We are flipping coins now. Today's color is blue.
Yes.
As you can tell by all of the blue outfits and discs today.
I wasn't wearing blue. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're not really in the shots too much.
Okay, yeah, I didn't
but
get the...
you are orchestrating everything, and we appreciate everything Danny does. Hole one is pretty much a straight shot.
What's Abe got here? Interesting fact.
Bahena. Dang, interesting fact.
Good enough.
Disc golf for 7 years now.
All right.
7 years?
7 years. He's had 10 children in that time.
10 children, yeah. So we're 417 here, and it's not as much of an Anheuser as it looks. This is low. That needs to be up a little bit, maybe a little more hyzer too. You really want to get a straight finish. You don't want to finish too far to the right on this.
It rained pretty good the day before, so you're going to see some standing water out there today. And there were some slick spots out there on the fairway. Not so bad on the tee pads, though.
I know hole one here has some big puddles in it. See if Matt can do any better.
Matt's flexing his nice blue disc. Matches his blue shirt.
What's your name?
Strong.
Something interesting about yourself.
Oh, you're right. Blue is everything today.
Matt Scott, PDGA number 36423. My favorite is the Firebird.
North Little Rock's finest right there.
He throws so many Firebirds. Abe here from about 100 feet, maybe longer.
At this point, he's just trying to leave himself a decent lie, tap in for par, and force Matt to make one.
And you see how wet it is out here with these puddles. We've got Matt here from 80.
And he's just playing safe. I think they got the jitters, just getting them out of the way.
Everybody
knows how important it is to get these putts out of the way early.
Yeah, just put it close.
And that is not how you want to start the round.
I can take the blame for that one. I accidentally razzed Abe. He was lining up his putt, and I didn't realize it. And I ran over and was like, wait, let me film it.
Well, that's okay.
Then yeah, of course he had to miss that one. That's a rookie mistake. I won't do that again. So we're coming up on hole two here. It's from the blue tee in the B position. What you know about it?
Well, from the B position, it's pretty straightforward. You can just kick a hyzer out to the right if you've got a nice solid backhand. That's really, truthfully, the play here. Let it flip up and fade left at the end of flight.
Right through the big gap here.
And we go through the smaller gap, going to the jungle gym over there.
That's a pro Mando.
Jump putt, though.
When they were installing this course, they were saying they've never seen anybody over there on the jungle gym. And then, of course, after we put it in, then people come out there.
And Hot Springs finest, flipping that nice Sheriff over there just a bit outside.
Just a bit.
Whatever putter you just threw in the Sheriff.
He's not too thrilled.
Matt's joking about him throwing a putter. He would throw a putter.
Because he's just laying it up again. Just get the three, move on, force Matt to make a nice jump putt from about 35, 40.
Yeah, this was a pretty good one here. It's got those. Ooh. I'll look good from this angle.
It did.
He's got those McPro AVRs out here in the cold. I was worried about it.
It got a little windy later in the round. Early, it was decent, but you definitely don't want to miss those putts. At least hit something. Give yourself some confidence going into hole three here.
So here, Matt's up 1-3 is in the A position at 388.
I don't really know what he was thinking here. It's a beautiful line, but it's not a blue disc.
Oh, man, yeah.
Nope, he kicked it out. Got a little base of the tree. He's not thrilled.
He's pin high, but he's just pretty far to the right. And Abe here has got a Thunderbird, and he was saying this was his pretty stable Thunderbird. But unfortunately, it's not blue. So
He's just not quite all the way to the basket. It's not thrilled. One down on hole 3. Matt's leading by 1 in the match. Abe knows he's just got to really just put it back up there, tap it in, maybe get it back on the next hole.
Don't give Matt an easy point by trying to run anything here. Matt, once again, running it from outside.
Again, got that little up-down James Leasey action on the ball.
Yeah, so Matt is still up 1 after hole 3. We're coming into hole 4 here. This is, I believe, 435, and that parking lot on the right side is all OB. And the green here is kind of tricky, too. It ends up being fairly tight unless you're absolutely parked.
There's one tree to miss about 100 feet in front of you. After that, it's pretty smooth sailing until you get past the parking lot. That's a solid drive. It is a putt.
I've heard stories of people hitting those trees and rolling back into the parking lot on that big hyzer line.
You know, we were playing in a tournament not too long ago, and I said to myself, just don't hit the first tree. What do I do, Damien?
Oh, I bet you got the first tree.
I mean, the thing is, you can tell the way it's been bleeding. Look at the sap. It's popular.
Abe got down there, though.
He did.
That was a more aggressive flex line, which brings the parking lot actually into play more if it flips over too much.
Oh, and he's hitting basket now, so that's getting the jitters out, starting to warm up a little bit for Matt.
He's past airballing. It's just a matter of time before he starts draining them. Abe
kind of outside there.
He needed to run that, but he left himself with more of a comebacker than he wants here.
This is not too hard for Abe. He's pretty good. It's nice, solid. I've seen that man throw putters like you wouldn't believe from amazing distances and lines. He's a fantastic player.
There's a good 3 save there. We're moving on to hole 5. It's actually not where any of the basket positions are. I've put an X where it actually is. It's only about 300 feet, you think? Not even.
I would say 280, 300. They do have a bounty here, though. Chet Dykes at Bryant Park's department. If you ace it, you win an ace this.
You're right. There you go.
Got to get it on camera, though.
He almost did.
He was very close. There's OB behind the basket here that you can't really see too well.
Yeah, it's those little white flags you can almost see by the basket there. It's back and left.
Those are all dangerously close to being OB.
They're fading towards it for sure.
It's a simple circle 3, though, if you get there.
Unfortunately, moving up here, Abe did find himself OB, so that's his putt for 3. And he is just having trouble getting the putter going early.
Yeah, that one's going to sting a bit there.
Abe's such a solid putter usually. I see him throw it in from everywhere. So
probably looking at, I'd say, 2 of the top 10 players in the state of Arkansas right now playing in match play.
We got Matt up 2 with the circle 3 on hole 5, moving into hole 6. What's the shot here?
Hole 6, if you're playing it from the position on the right, I guess is what you're saying is the C position.
Yes.
Is pretty much a straight, I throw a mid-range on it and just let it fade left at the end.
Just a nice, easy hyzer.
Exactly what Matt did here.
He's got it perfect, yes. I believe that was his harp.
I think that was the harp that he decided to throw on that.
Kenny Williams Memorial harp.
Beautiful looking disc. Beautiful man, too.
I don't know what Abe has here in his hand, but it's probably a putter.
Probably a putter of some sort. He's pretty consistent with it. Ace running it. Oh, that was so close.
And he had to walk in front of it right at the last second.
We kept telling him, hey, give us a little room here.
That was a good putt, though. That was about
solid
20 feet. It was further uphill than it looks. It drops down there to the left.
Solid 2 to push it. You can hear see the gallery walking along. There you go.
It was good to see you come out and support these guys with they're doing the match play. You were throwing too?
I played about the first 9, 10, really 11 holes, but it got pretty tight there at the end, and I decided to pump the brakes and kind of let the boys go at it.
The heart-stopping action for sure.
Yeah,
we've got hole 7 here, 418. It's in the position that's on the hill. And this hole really plays as a par 4 in all of the positions. It says it's a par 3, but I'm playing it for a 3 every time.
It is a strict pin placement of your disc. You want to make sure you put it in the gap to give you a nice run at the basket for a possible field ace.
Yeah.
You can get within about 80. Best I've been was in about 75, 85 feet away. I gave it a run up the hill, and it rolled right back down the hill.
That hill is steep towards the end. It goes up about 45 degrees. And you can see the basket sitting on it there, and it's just treacherous.
So coming in.
Unfortunately, has some early tree hits, so he's sitting here, pitching up. He played it right. You definitely don't want to bring that hill into contention any more than you have to.
It was surprisingly closer than I thought it was when we walked on it, but he did have some weird footing.
And the master of forehands here.
Matt's just trying to get up and down here.
Unfortunately, just held on to it a little bit too long.
God, what's his favorite disc? He didn't quite want to let it go.
Oh, yeah. So he's got about 35, 40 here, you think, left for
Up the hill,
three?
I'm looking about 40 feet. Solid putt. Really tough to judge that with the angle of the disc, as it has to hit the chains the right way.
And Matt's putt is really good for just coming straight out, too. It's not going to have too much sideways on it.
Abe,
he needed that one.
he had a straddle putt. Unfortunately, he's like 5'2", so he needed about 5'5", and he would have been able to stretch out and probably bang.
So he's got this to 4 and push it just low.
The putter's got to get going. If he's going to get in contention in this match, he's really got to get that putter alive.
Coming into hole 8 here, Matt is up 3, and hole 8 is the signature hole on the course, no doubt. It is the hardest hole, the longest hole. Not quite the longest, sorry, but it is definitely the hardest hole out here. You can see Matt doesn't even want to play with those trees. He's just throwing a forehand roller.
He wants 250 foot down there and give himself a look.
Yes, this is not a hole you can get too greedy on, because you got to hit a gap off the tree and then get lucky.
Speaking of gap off the tree,
And I left this shot in because it was so beautiful.
Oh, they got little James action.
That's a bit of a spoiler.
Here I am. I actually do have a blue shirt on here, so.
Oh, okay. That's why it goes good. It's not a blue disc, but that works.
I just flew my sheriff down. I know that I have to turn it over a bit. Hopefully it pans back out into the opening. I would say that was about 360, 380 down the hill.
That is really what you're trying to do. And Abe has got a lot of work left. He only made about 50 feet off the tee. He's got his defender here.
To me, was the shot that got him going.
Oh, for sure.
This is an amazing out.
Beautiful.
That line, that tight line to pan it out. I even clap for him now. Here we go.
I would have if I hadn't been holding the camera. That was
strong work.
That was incredible. That was a gap to hit, a line to hit, and everything was just perfect.
And we go roller, trying to get down there for a putt.
You see, as soon as you're off the quote-unquote fairway here, it's just trouble.
He left himself in position. I urged him to lay it up. There's a creek 6 to 8 feet behind him that is OB.
And it was full of water today, especially because it had just rained so much.
He goes 6 feet short of the basket like he's supposed to.
Yeah, just pitching it up. That creek was actually very, very full of water. Usually you can just walk across it, but it is not something I want to mess with.
I remember chatting with Abe before that putt right there, and he said, "I'm running at it. I got to get it. I'm down 3. It's got to happen."
Yeah, it's time to make some craziness happen.
To lay it up.
So moving into hole 9 here, that hole was a push. We are in the 430-foot position. It's actually up on the hill a little bit. Here we are. We had to walk around the creek.
Here you're going to see just nothing but athleticism.
Sheer athleticism.
Displayed here. Look at this.
And the throw. Look at that.
Look at that.
Perfect form on that bag toss.
If only I could throw my disc like that.
Oh, man.
Because Abe's 5'2", and that's just enough.
That's almost as tall as he was to clear that water. That was incredible. And then Macho Man, not even taking your bag off.
I got to show off. I mean, come on.
Wow.
I'm wearing blue.
That was seriously impressive there.
We didn't get Danny. It wasn't as graceful.
It wasn't as cool. I thought it was going to be a lot farther than it was. So here we are, hole 9. The line is a big Anheuser here, or a roller if you'd like, but with the leaves, roller's not ideal. This is just perfect, though.
He lands at the base of that tree. We had a decision there. I told him he was about 35. There was discussions about 50.
If he makes it,
in any case, it's in Matt's range.
It's an insane putt for sure. Abe's got this sheriff that's been flipping over on him, so I thought he was going to take the left line here, but I think he ends up going straight at it.
Yeah, he decided to burn the line right down the gut and hits the third tree.
Yeah, something like that. And then I was surprised he threw a forehand here.
He's got a very good forehand. I've seen him throw it a couple times.
Those putter hyzers. I guess he was talking about the branches being late.
It's almost his get out of jail shot. Cedar Glades, his home course in Hot Springs. It is a beautiful course. If you find yourself in the rough, you're gonna need an array of out shots.
That's one of the things I really like about the forehands. You don't need to get your whole body into it as much.
Absolutely.
To be able to throw it.
And with the blue shirt laying it up.
So Matt really didn't even need to run that. He could just pitch up for his 3.
He absolutely. I told him to lay up 5 or 6 times. I think at one point he rolled his eyes. So I don't blame you. Moving
on here to hole 10. We are at 260 feet. We're in the shorter position, and the water is very high, and it is OB. So it didn't play as an island. You could technically pitch up to the right, but these guys aren't doing that. They're just throwing a nice, easy. Matt's here throwing a forehand. He's got it a little wide left, but that's over the water.
Your perception of the depth of the basket off the off the water is definitely what you need to pay attention to on this shot. I do exactly what Abe does. I aim right at that big tree and let it fade on down in there.
For sure.
And he got a hold of it pretty good.
Yeah, you got a lot of a skip for sure. So he's got a long putt here. He was hesitant about running this, but he knew he had to put it in.
Wind is starting to pick up. You can hear it.
This was a right to left wind here, so that hyzer, as the putter just started to fade, it lifted up. So Matt here, he's putting with a gator.
And
almost got it. Sit.
This is heartbreaking when that happens.
That rolled straight in the water.
Straight in the water. So now he's tapping in for his 4, I believe. And I think I saw him holding his breath on that shot.
So Abe's got 25 feet and a headwind for his point.
And there you go.
There you go. Now Abe is coming alive a little bit.
He's waking it up.
He's done giving up strokes. Moving on to hole 11 here, we are at the from the blue tee to the B position, which plays a little shorter than 270, I think.
Absolutely. It's, again, a tricky shot, the depth perception of what you got to have.
Oh, yeah.
Where it hyzers in. You can't really see it from the pad. All you can see is that other pin location where the pole is.
Abe tried to throw his disc through the clouds here.
And this is what separates pros from AMs.
Oh, for sure. That is...
Plinko,
Plinko
down to the basket.
That is 5 feet from it.
It was a beautiful line that I am not gutsy enough to throw.
It's a heck of a line for sure. And then Matt's got his fluid fell in here, actually. He throws it like a Firebird when there's water nearby. And he's just got a little too much juice on this one.
And that's partly my fault, because he's played the course once, I think, and I told him where the basket was, and I was wrong.
He's got the right idea. He just put a little too much juice on it. So he's got here from about 60 feet for 2.
There's your new profile pic there, Matt.
Oh, and he actually gave that a pretty good run.
It's a very good bid on that kind of stance.
And you just canned a huge putt here, too.
Oh, yeah,
here's Abe from 15 feet.
And that is the story of his day so far.
Just not being able to connect on those putts. Yeah, that was definitely in his wheelhouse. We are coming up to hole 12 here, 717. It's in the blue. It's in the A position from the blue tee. So this is about 2 full power drives to get there for sure, because we had a bit of a headwind too.
And that you see that big field to the left and that soccer goal out there. Just aim for that. Just stay away from the right. Wait. Don't go right. Don't go.
Sit down.
Right. He went right.
He went far right. Yeah.
That makes it a tough out.
Yes, you got to throw some sort of tricky anhyzer, especially in the wind. And I was saying there's a hyzer look. He was actually just barely cut off from that. You can kind of punch through those 2 trees on the right sometimes. But
Matt looked at me before he threw this. I said, "Don't go right." What's he do? He's got a blue shirt. Abe's got a blue shirt.
You know, it's the right idea.
So we'll go right.
It's just everything was flipping over. I heard somewhere that colder air is more dense, and that makes discs less stable. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but they were struggling with their disc flipping over a little bit today. Matt has a standstill roller.
He absolutely was just trying to get around the corner. The wind was pushing hard, so he gave it a go.
Is that going to stop rolling today?
And it wasn't outstanding, but
it's out there. That's really all you can do from over there.
It did give him an out.
You're going to be hard pressed to get up and down, especially from a standstill. Abe here is throwing a huge anhyzer. I found out later that's actually a harp. That is way farther than I could ever throw a harp. That's insane.
At that point, when you get off the tee pad on this hole and you end up to the right and you don't throw in the field, you're laying up. You're playing for a 4 at that point.
He put his harp pretty close. He's just pitching it up there. I think he's left with right about here, 35
feet. Yeah, no, that was a decent.
Yeah,
I remember that.
It was a crush out of that harp.
Absolutely, it was. And a solid 3.
Dead center. That's really what you want to be doing.
If you ever played this hole, you just
I've never threw it.
Know that a 3 is beautiful.
I've never threw this hole.
I did twice in one day, but nobody saw it.
I don't believe you. All right, moving on to hole 12. All right, we are in the 418 position. It's a big hyzer. You don't want to be early left, and there is garbage on the right, but every pro should have this shot in their bag.
This is a number of discs you can use for this line. It's just if you choose to go wide or if you want to get crazy and try to go underneath that branch in front of you.
You could do some sort of a flex, but most people are just going to throw a big hyzer. And if they're short, it's still a wide open putt.
If you've got a nice hyzer 380 to 410 shot, then this is right up your alley.
And Matt's got this flipped over. This needs to come back.
It's one of those situations where you're happy you threw it that high.
Wow.
And this is actually playing the opposite direction of the previous hole, so it's a tailwind here. So his disc was being pushed forward a little bit, and he really needs this putt. He lost a point on the last hole. He's trying to come back now. Just got nubbed. Those are the worst.
That's the most frustrating thing in disc golf.
So Abe here is trying to complete this momentum swing.
And just a beautiful shot.
There we go. Now he's putting well. He's got it
We
back.
have momentum. At this point, I quit playing. I said, okay, I'm going to watch.
Well, also this next hole's super treacherous. You
Yeah,
don't want to
no,
lose your disc.
I didn't want to lose it.
Of course, I've seen so many discs just go in the water here.
Oh, yeah.
It's so close behind the basket,
Easy
15
to
feet
do.
maybe.
There's several holes like that on this course where the water comes into play right by the basket.
Yeah.
This is a shorty. It's in between discs for some, and if you don't have the right line and the right idea of flight, you could really mess it up.
Yeah.
He slipped a little bit on the pad there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to throw a harp here too, which is a chunk out of a harp. It's 275, which for that soft harp, which is more overstable.
And another dink.
He's still just trying to get that putter going. It was hot at the beginning, but it's fallen off a little bit late in the round.
I think he's got a little blue shirt, blue putter action power going on.
Oh, there you go. Abe's got
Attaboy, Abe.
the matching.
All square, hole 14.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell they were getting a little tense when that happened.
This was exciting. This was when you started the live stream on the Facebook page here.
That's true.
This is the blue tee to actually the B position. It's not as far right as it looks. It's a hyzer for sure. But it's 275, and there is that creek on the right side, so you don't want to throw it too straight. This is a putter. It needs to fade.
That is about as good as you can go. I mean, you're looking at 10, 15 feet there.
Yeah, it might be a little bit shorter than it looks, but it's down there, and it takes guts to throw not a super overstable disc. Because I always take like a Verdict or a Justice or something.
Because I want to bank on it coming back.
I'm not flirting with that water there. And Matt took that harp again, a little short, but they've got 25, 30 here, looks like.
I would say 30 at most on this putt right here, and Abe's surprisingly closer than we think here.
You see how high the creek is, too. The water's rushing through there.
Oh.
Matt just left it a little wide right.
Just a bit outside.
The wind isn't blowing too bad here. We've got some protection by the trees.
And I saw Matt Scott exhale after that missed putt.
Oh.
Turned around and walked straight to the next pad.
This was intense. You couldn't tell talking to him, but the little things really made you feel it. This is hole 15 here. They're all square. Or sorry, after hole 15, they're all square. Coming up on hole 16, just a 300-foot forehand. Both these guys should have this in their bag, no problem.
That is tight. You want to hang it out more. There's danger OB to the right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a creek to the right of the basket.
Just like every other hole out here.
About 10 feet away.
It is right there.
This is right in Matt's wheelhouse.
Matt
I've seen him
king.
nail this type of shot 100 times. And so I was not worried until he let go of it.
Yeah, it's flipped over a little bit too much. He almost got to the baseball field there.
You so strong, man.
Which is farther than I could throw a forehand.
You so strong.
That's insane. So he's kind of running this one,
he
too.
gave it a bid. We told him Abe was in. He knew Abe was in. He knew Abe had 20 feet with another weird straddle like he had on hole 7.
Yeah.
Almost the exact same distance with the exact same look. Again, if he was 5'5", it would be a lot easier.
A lot more comfortable.
I don't think he's too concerned about it because he's a fine putter.
Just a little too far right.
That he missed it.
So now he's got a little bit of a comebacker here too. He needs to make this to keep pace.
We've seen a couple of those dink this round, and I'm sure he was happy that went in.
Yeah, that's a good one to get for sure. So there's still square coming in. 2 holes left. This is when we know we're playing all the holes today.
Oh yeah, this is when it's coming down the home stretch. I think that's exactly how I said it. So we're coming down the home stretch here, folks.
This is 306. It's actually an elevated basket on a hill, and they had a very strong right to left wind here.
He hangs it out there. It's 306. You got to go 306. He goes about 303.
Just barely didn't clear the water.
He's wet. He's got to go to the drop zone. So Matt knows anything but short is wonderful. And he lets go early.
Oh dear. Get legs.
And he is begging for that not to be short. It is. He threw it 310.
Yeah. He cleared the water. And then he is safe, which is really all you need to do. So Abe needs to get up and down here to force Matt.
You see the beautiful shot there. Shout out to Lake Charles sign. I've seen somebody actually hit that sign.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Chuck Discraft. There you go, buddy.
Drill the middle of it. So Matt's just pitching up here for his 3 because he knows Abe's got 5 or a 6.
That's right. Matt's up 1. Hole
Matt's
17.
Just tapped it in. Here we go. Hole 18 here is in the 405 on the left. You've got to hit a bit of a gap off the tee, but it should just be very similar to hole 2, actually. Just a straight shot to a hyzer finish.
The entire time I know I'm looking at Matt's eyes and he says, just make the gap.
Just
make the gap.
Just
That's all I need.
Just don't hit something early. He's got a defender here, I believe.
And he hits the gap.
He's got a flex line on it. That's pretty. He's up there. He's got a 3, no problem.
At this point, he is in cruise control, and he wants Abe to beat him and him not beat himself.
Matt has put all the pressure on Abe at this point. So Abe's just got to get a birdie if he's going to stay in it.
And that missed the tree, so we have distance. It's gonna have a putt. He knows he's got a putt.
Looks like it was a little sawed off, so he's got a long putt. But Matt here again is just not quite giving it the layup he wanted.
No, he's anything but crazy long. Stay with that tailwind he had, and he was going to take that tap.
So Abe here's got 50 feet, maybe 40.
Oh, he gave it a run. He knows he had to make it.
Just left. So Matt's got this for the win.
For the championship.
There we go. Good putt, Matt.
Congratulations, Matt.
Now, Matt has had a tough road to get here. He played me round 1.
Right.
And then I don't know who played round 2.
He played Mitch. He played Mitch.
Mitch round 2. Okay.
Mitch round 2, and they went down. They went down to the wire, I believe.
Yeah. And then Abe round 3.
And then all the way down to the wire each round.
He played really clutch coming down the stretch here.
So congratulations to Matt on the win.
For
Abe
sure.
on his showing. And thank you, Danny, and everybody involved for the Central Arkansas.
Thanks everyone for playing. Thanks for playing, James.
Hey, thank you.
This has been fun. Thanks for helping me out with the commentary.
Happy to do it.
And we'll get this posted as soon as I can.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Always remember, slow is smooth and smooth is far.